Techno 2023.
We are ready to talk with Professor Ananda Jayawardane, who is indeed an expert in this field of engineering and who has been the Vice Chancellor of University of Moratuwa as well. Professor Jayawardane, Techno 2023 coming to your houses again with a new theme this time about regaining the economy, the contributions that the engineers can make. You being one of the heads of the engineering institution Sri Lanka, University of Moratuwa, how do you see the role of engineer, especially in this regaining part?
I think if you consider role of engineers, engineers are nation builders, and that's a universal definition of engineering. So when you consider nation builders, they actually contribute to the economy enormously. And this time we know that Sri Lanka is in having a very difficult time, particularly when we consider the economic sector. So engineers, if we get together, I think our contribution to economic development will be very vast. And through this exhibition, as it was already informed, what we are trying to do is to identify the opportunities, build the networks, educate people to see how engineering can contribute to the economic development of a country. So what we do is we actually bring in all the stakeholders, whether it is industrialists, the manufacturers, the service providers, the educators, the students, and general public together, and share knowledge, and then see how best we can establish partnerships with the other players, so that we know as engineers we do our part, and then there are lots of other people who create jobs, who manufacture, who export, and all that. So that is how economy rolls over. But during this difficult time, I think it is the best opportunity for us to show that economic development can be contributed by the engineers quite very significantly.
Why haven't the engineers done this so far, and why were they waiting only at the 11th hour to make their presence felt? Plus, do you think there's lack of opportunity here, and is it the reason why the engineers are getting attracted to some offshore opportunities?
I think when you consider engineering, obviously we try our best to support the economy, support the country's development every time. But I think if you consider the contribution by the engineers, they do in a national ecosystem, right? So we consider it's a national innovation ecosystem where we all the partners, all the stakeholders, all individual players or player clusters work together for the economic development. So I think Sri Lanka, at different times, we have these kind of issues and problems that creation of this innovative ecosystem in a conducive way does not really take place. So that would have been the issue. And obviously, of course, particularly when the country is in a difficult situation, when you sometimes don't see an immediate future, particularly youngsters who actually have lots of dreams to see, this is how I would like to have my country, but I don't see that kind of a leadership or country developing like that. You feel that, okay, so it might as well that we look for greener pastures. But I think what we need to consider is that we together we can correct the situation, and we should not really consider, okay, this is a time that we need to really leave the country and go to greener pastures. Particularly as engineers, that's the hour of the need, right? No, need the hour. And so basically we need to consider there is always a good time. There is always, when you have a dark time, there is a good time. Every dark cloud has a silver line. So we need to consider that there's an opportunity. I think during the last 2 years, Sri Lankans, professionals, engineers learned enormously through this entire episode of the pandemic and the economic downfall and all that. So I think it is a high time that after learning, that we get together to support the country's development.
Thank you very much. See you at the Techno 2023 at BMICH. Professor Ananda Jayawardane talking to us.
Join us on October 20th, 21st, and 22nd at BMICH as we unite to forge a brighter future.